Hey, hon, I have a bunch of more books I'm going to take to the studio. I want every student, no matter their age, race, if they've taken one before, to be able to have books to take for the summer. Probably my last thrift haul for a while because of a few reasons. One, it's just really busy over there with recitals coming up and getting everybody ready and learning all the parts that I am playing with my students on a bunch of different instruments. And then also, as summer approaches, we work less, so pay is less. And so, even though I get a lot of these books for 23 cents, um, it does add up. And there's just not as many kids around in the summer either. So, without further ado, this is a lot of books here today. Some classics, and maybe you could put in the comments what your favorite is. So, I have The Ugly Duckling. I remember doing a first grade play about this one. Um, that's a nice hardcover. Back with C.S. Lewis, we've got The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Now, I've had various titles in his series before, and sometimes they disappear, sometimes they get destroyed. So I'm always happy to replenish those, even if there's already one out there. The K was my very, very favorite book in fourth grade, and I was so thrilled to find it for 95 cents minus 75% this weekend, and I just really hope someone else loves it as much as I did. We have some picture books here. We have The Noisy Paint Box, which was a a Caldecott winner, and that's a hardcover. And then Mysteries of the Universe. Space, always popular for kids, it seems, at least in my lifetime. And, now with these comments about getting to Mars and private planes or shuttles going into space, I think that it will be no different for kids in coming generations. Some more drawing books. We have step-by-step drawing of ships, and also drawing cats. I'm a little partial. Stella, my cat, and I, big fans of cats, obviously, because she is one. Some other titles. We have the junior novel of Guardian of the Galaxies. This, I think, will last not very long because the third movie actually opens this Friday. I'm not a big superhero movie, but I have loved the first two, so check it out. And then in my I Survived and What Was Hurricane and What Was or Who Was HQ books, I've got I Survived Hurricane Katrina, as well as Don't Went Flying. What Was Hurricane Katrina? Realizing a lot of these kids were not alive when these things happened. The City of Ember, and this is a graphic novel. And obviously, there are some kids that really are drawn to graphic novels. I've enjoyed a lot of them that I've read too. We have Grumpy Unicorn Hits the Road. And that also, it's like for smaller kids, but it's also a type of graphic novel. And then I was able to score several of these books, which are technically banned in some places now, but they're still so popular. So from Captain Underpants, we have Captain Underpants and the Big Bad Battle of the Bionic Booger Boy, Part 2, The Revenge of the Ridiculous Robo Boogers. Lots of words there. So I haven't read any of these. Captain Underpants and the Perilous Plot of Professor Poopy Pants. Sounds great. Captain Underpants and the Attack of Talking Toilets. That would scare me too, I guess, so it's good to get on top of that. The Music of the Dolphins. There were a lot of copies of this at the Salvation Army this week. I don't know anything about it, and I may read one of these, but it seemed like a very good book. From Wild Child to ... And then, it's about a girl that learns to appreciate and deal with dolphins in a healthy way. Oh, and the adventure of Captain Underpants. I missed that before with the other Captain Underpants movies. Back to the Who HQ and What HQ. I found this box set called Who's on Mount Rushmore, and then it's 4 books about the 4 presidents that are there. So George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. To a lot of the kids that I teach here just outside of Chicago, South Dakota may as well be on Mars. And so it's something they learn about, and I'm glad that they can look at these books too. Another board book, Giggle Giggle Quack Quack. I think that's a classic. We also have If You Give a Moose a Muffin, and this is from the popular series If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, I think is the first one. Pete the Cat, another fan favorite, and the Treasure Map. A Cars Golden Book. People still love cars. Little kids still love cars. Scruffy the Tugboat, pulling on some nostalgia of my own there. Fancy Nancy, another popular character. And she is Fancy Nancy Explorer Extraordinaire. So that sounds great. Being explorers and finding things out in the world all seem to be also very popular, and I remember that even from when I was a kid. Another classic character that I've always loved, Babar. So we have the story of Babar. Nice because it's, again, a hardcover. Prince and the Pauper. I don't know how many people will still read this or be interested, but again, this is a Mark Twain book. A lot of his stuff is banned. This one is not, I don't think. So, you know, it's a good read, and it's hardcover, so it'll last a while if it stays there on my shelf. We also have Click Clack Moo Cows the Type, and these are another series that's quite famous. Back to I Survived. I also have The Great Flood of Molasses, 1919. I first learned about this when I was working at Barnes & Noble many, many years ago, and have been a little bit fascinated. But for those not familiar, a molasses factory exploded in Boston, and molten waves of molasses flooded and burned and killed lots and lots of people. So it actually was something to survive in 1919. Back to my Captain Underpants. Goodness, there's so many. We have Invasion of the Incredibly Naughty Cafeteria Ladies from Outer Space and the subsequent assault on the equally evil lunchroom zombie nerds. So there's that one. And another band author, really, Roald Dahl, James and the Giant Peach. Again, another classic piece of most of the childhoods of people my age and a little bit younger. A Little Cottontail Golden Book. That's a classic, oldie but goodie. We have Adventure Time, a more modern cartoon for those of you who don't know. And this is another really beautifully illustrated sort of graphic novel, kind of for younger kids. And for what I've seen of Adventure Time, it's a really fun show and really creative, and I hope that is well received. Just a couple more. The Hobbit. There's still Lord of the Rings fans, like, that are just discovering the movies and the books, so I thought I'd toss this out there. Even though it's a thicker book, do teach some adults, they do teach some older kids. And things like this are also great for parents who are waiting while their 1, 2, 3, 4 kids are taking various classes. And then this, Blast Back, is about the American Revolution. I'm sometimes really kind of awestruck by the amount of history that's not taught anymore, so I'm happy to have these kinds of books. And then the last thing it looks like for right now is this big book The New Adventures of Curious George. I'm a Curious George fan. My brother was an even bigger one. And so this has 8 stories, and it's got some great pictures, and it's a big, heavy hardcover. And I think that this one may, unless someone is like so desperately in love with them, this one may actually live at the studio for a while because of its size and because of it really containing 8 books. But again, if someone really wants or needs it, I'm not going to hesitate to pass it along. So anyway, there's some books to add to the studio. I'm going to add our Amazon wish list link for my students and other various books and music books and other music-y type stuff. And just a heads up, next week begins not Music Appreciation Week, but Teacher Appreciation Week. Kids have more and more teachers every year and coaches and things like that. And I know it can get quite costly to purchase a gift for everyone. Have your student make a card or write a few measures of music similar to what they're working on or anything like that. I think most teachers would say we're not in this to become wealthy. We're in this because we love kids and we understand the importance of reading and music and math and all the other things that people learn in school. But if you do have a few extra bucks, most teachers that I know, whether they teach in a situation like I do or in a large school, have an Amazon wish list. I'll link ours. And also don't really have extra time or money to just stop and have dinner out or pick up some donuts or I don't know, just so many things. You can find the silliest, simplest things that'll really make a teacher's day. So if you are the gift giving type of person, of that mentality, then now's the time to shop, whether it's crazy socks or more pencils for classroom use or whatever. Make sure you thank your teachers in the next couple of weeks. Be nice to them, give them some extra smiles, encourage your students to do the same. All right, until next time, bye.